Good morning at 6 o'clock. Thank you for joining us on THV 11, streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller. Hayden is off today. Meteorologist Tracy Bean, of course, is here. And now Ashley King joins us, watching the roads for you. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning to you.
How is your Tuesday?
It's cold. That's what it is.
Cold
You know,
in
it's
studio.
in here. It is. It is cold in here. Usually it doesn't get real chilly in here till what, 7 o'clock out?
The hotter it gets outside, the colder it gets in here. We've noticed.
Yeah, just know that when we're not on camera, we're wrapped up in a blanket.
Right.
We are. We dress for the studio, not the weather.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right. Well, if you're going to be outside today, it's not too bad. And, you know, we've got schools starting. We've got Hot Springs and East End. So there's going to be a little bit more traffic. You know, next week, we're really going to have to watch things because there is a slew of schools starting next week. But today, we're just going to enjoy and celebrate Hot Springs and East End with a great first day when you're heading out to the bus stop this morning and be in the low 70s. And we are warming up today, but no worries about not being able to go out for recess or maybe PE. After school activities are great. Maybe when you get home, if you need a little moment after your busy day, looking for that high right around 93, 94. But a beautiful start to the day. The city is glowing, if you will. We've got a little cloud cover out there, but not much. Seeing 72 and a little bit of a breeze out of the southeast, keeping us just at least moving around. As far as those temperatures go, still a lot of 60s across Arkansas. We've even got a few, I see, mid-60s. Batesville, Smina's around 64. It's really nice out there right now, and those dew points are remaining, again, fairly low as far as it goes. And so in the 60s, it doesn't feel too humid out there. Highs today will be right around 94. Not too bad. We're going to see that heat index value, maybe 97, 98, but starting to see a little bit of an increase as we're heading into the next couple of days and a little chance of a shower as well. But overall, it's going to be a beautiful day. Hopefully you're able to get out and enjoy it. And if you're not in school just yet, you can get all of those things done that you need to, all those to-dos without sweating yourself to death. So overall, it's going to be a good day. How are the roads?
Roads are looking good so far, and we also have a beautiful sunrise. This is just one of my favorite shots, looking back at Interstate 430 Arkansas River Bridge here, and you can see that beautiful sunrise. And not a lot of cars on our roads just yet. This is like Tracy was saying a few minutes ago. This is going to change, especially in the metro area next week. So enjoy this week while you can, but maybe just get into the habit of leaving a little bit early because we're going to have more volume on the road starting next week here in the metro and already in Hot Springs and other areas around central Arkansas. So yeah, our live traffic map looking like this. No accidents right now, no major slowdowns. We'll get another check coming up in a few minutes.
Ashley, thank you. Continuing coverage this morning, the future of our home remains uncertain after federal officials rejected Arkansas's request to extend the program's waiver. Now, state leaders say they're working to keep coverage in place for more than 20,000 Arkansans. The Department of Human Services says no one covered through Our Home needs to take any action at the moment. The program uses Medicaid funding to help eligible low-income adults buy private insurance, health insurance. Advocates warn the stakes go beyond policy, though, saying continued coverage is critical for families and the healthcare workforce across the state.
You can't afford health care without health insurance in this country. And what it does is cover people with incomes up to 138% of the federal poverty level.
The governor's office says its goal is to keep Arkansans covered and preserve access to quality care while discussions with federal officials continue. For now, coverage remains in place, but the program's future is expected to be a key issue when lawmakers return for the next legislative session. And an update this morning on the Cyclospora outbreak. Michigan is reporting the nation's first 2 deaths linked to the illness. As cases continue to rise in Arkansas, the state health department now confirms 173 cases statewide since our last update Friday, with Grant County newly added to the list. Most Arkansas cases remain in Benton County, where the total has climbed to 108. Nationwide, though, the CDC has identified 18,000 cases this season and confirmed more than 6,000. Health officials in Michigan say both people who died did have serious underlying health conditions that were made worse by the infection. While deaths from Cyclospora are rare, patients have reported severe illness.
When we find out about a case of Cyclospora, our communicable disease team will talk to them and ask what they've eaten and where they've eaten for the past 2 weeks. It's a really detailed process.
Public health officials continue to point to Taylor Farms iceberg lettuce as the likely source, saying the effective products have already been eaten or removed from store shelves. After months of debate, the Clarksville City Council has approved a key agreement to keep the server farm data center project moving forward, authorizing up to $55 billion in industrial revenue bonds. The bonds are a financial tool to help the California-based company build the project. The city is not paying that money, and taxpayers are not responsible for repaying the bonds. The $55 billion figure is simply a maximum allowed under the agreement, while city leaders estimate the project will actually cost about $6.6 billion. The project's size and long-term impact continue to raise questions, though, in the community.
I'm just concerned about there's the environmental issues that could happen. I'm not saying that it will, but you're going to get a lot of noise pollution no matter what. And in the short term, all the jobs are going to be here. There's going to be, I don't know, almost 1,000 electricians or something, that's what I heard. So in the short term, it's going to be good for businesses.
Construction is expected to move ahead in phases over the next several years, while attorneys finalize the bond documents and tax agreements behind the scenes. Time now 6:06. This morning, President Trump says he's giving Iran what he calls a final chance to reach a nuclear deal after calling off a planned military strike. The president says negotiations have resumed, but Iran is still publicly denying that. Bradley Blackburn has more.
In the Oval Office, President Trump again threatened Iran to sign a peace deal or else.
I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. Very tough to do what we have planned, still planned.
The president explained his decision to call off what he said were massive strikes planned against Iran over the weekend.
They called me and they said, please don't attack, we'll make a deal. That's the real truth, and everyone knows it.
The president says talks with Iran have resumed, but Iran Monday claimed they are not in direct talks with the U.S. and have no plans to resume them. U.S. officials tell CBS News there are no new negotiations scheduled, despite President Trump's suggestion.
This is now the 5th time that the president has threatened massive escalation against Iran and then either said that allies from the region are intervening or a deal is imminent and back down.
Iran says it is negotiating with Oman, a key U.S. ally in the Gulf, aiming to find a temporary arrangement to get traffic moving again through the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. says it's enforcing its own blockade against Iran releasing this audio.
If you do not comply, we will compel compliance with force.
CENTCOM says as of Monday, it has redirected, disabled, or boarded at least 4 dozen vessels. Iran claims it is now negotiating with Pakistan to get around the blockade by moving Iranian containers through Pakistani ports. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Overnight, a UK trade operations agency said at least one cargo ship was hit by an unknown projectile off the coast of Oman. Only 6 vessels were able to pass through the Strait of Hormuz on Monday. The Senate Judiciary Committee votes today on President Trump's Attorney General nominee, Todd Blanche. The acting AG is closer to confirmation now after ending the Justice Department's $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund, which critics called a political payout. The move addresses concerns from Republican holdouts on the committee. President Trump is reportedly considering removing D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro after the Justice Department dropped charges against a man accused of damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. The move comes after prosecutors criticized the president's $14 million renovation project in a court filing, calling it, quote, hasty and botched. Pirro was appointed by Trump last year, and her future in the role is now under review. Meantime, attorneys for the accused man, David Hearn, say they plan to respond after the charges are officially dismissed. Almost 6:10. Let's head to meteorologist Tracy Bean and the forecast for our Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday is not so bad. I'd call it a terrific Tuesday. In fact, we're going to see those temperatures right around 93, 94, and that heat index today around, again, the upper 90s. Still not too bad for this first week of August. Warm, yes, so make sure you're staying hydrated. Don't forget about the pets, and if you're headed out, the concrete and the asphalt. Still a bit warm out there. Now tomorrow we're still going to see just that slight increase in that temperature and that slight increase once again into that heat index, where we're going to start to see those triple digits. Again, only around 102 or so. Still not too bad for this time of year. We're going to start to see more humidity build back in as we're heading into, I would say, Thursday and Friday, and we'll certainly feel things a little bit more as we're heading into the weekend. So enjoy what is, I'm going to say, a tranquil first week of August with kids starting school. You know, we could use some of these temperatures just being just a little bit more calm.